Hello, my name is Jacob Monk. I'm here in Berlin in my hotel room and I want to make a little video about what I read in the paper today. Here in Germany, the Americans have around 200,000 soldiers stationed because they want to make an impact. They want to control the political life of Germany, and that is the political life of Europe. Here you can read that in the paper. It's in German language, but der Ego-Trip des US-Parlaments, Amerika-Sanktionen treffen uns. It means the ego trip of the Jewish Parliament. Jewish sanction is going against us. Well, the American president and the Jewish Senate, they want to punish Russia because they say that Russia interfered in the American election. Well, as far as I know, America has been trying to interfere with Russian elections for the last 50 years, at least as long as after Second World War, 1945. Every single election in Russia, the American has trying to have an impact, to make an impression on the voters in one and the other ways, trying to finance illegal political parties, trying to make computer viruses in the networks, and trying to make propaganda radio stations. They still have Radio Liberty, an American propaganda station here. But they also want to have an impact on other countries. America is trying to run the whole world. It is the global imperialist and terrorist number one. And now they want the Germans to say no to the Russian line of gas coming directly from, from Ural or what, from somewhere in Russia. They can deliver gas to the European consumers for a very low price. But the Americans want the European consumers to buy gas from USA. Well, this gas has 3 times the price of the Russian gas. But it will certainly benefit the American economy if all Europe is dependent on American supply lines of energy. So the Americans want the Europeans to say no to cheap gas from Russia because they are trying to create a conflict between East and West Europe, because the conflict means that NATO can grow and the American industry can sell more weapons to the Europeans. That is the purpose. And the Americans would really like to have a third world war, but it should only happen in Europe. It should destroy Europe, Germany, and it should destroy Russia. That would be the primary goal of the third world war, started up by and provoked by USA. So therefore they want to make Europeans poor and Americans more rich. And that is the purpose of this ego trip of the Jewish Parliament that you can read about in the paper today. Well, Germany is in fact occupied by America. So if America likes other countries to have freedom of thought, political freedom of speech, well, please draw back your soldiers from the bases in Europe. Then we have freedom. Before you draw back your occupational soldiers, then we can't have any real freedom here in Europe. And that is the problem now. Europe is a continent with so many different small nations being in conflict with each other. And this is exactly what the Americans want. They want a divided Europe that is a weak Europe. and the only nations that has a potential strength, that is Germany, and therefore they still occupied Germany. They started this occupation in 1945, and now 67 years later their soldiers are still staying on their bases here in Germany. This is a shame. American imperialism is the main threat to the whole world, and the only hope we have for a peaceful world is a demilitarization, a discontinuation of the American imperialist wishes to control the whole world, because the Americans' perspective to control the whole world means to make the whole world only American colonies. And nearly all countries in Europe are American colonies today. That is a shame for Europe, a shame for the world, and a shame for USA too. So please, Americans, tell your President Donald Trump that if he wants to have peace, and that's what he told us during his electoral campaign, if he wants to have peace in Europe, peace with the Russians, then he has to draw back his soldiers and his many military bases around Europe, around Russia, because these military bases, they constitute a big threat to the peace, the future peace in Europe. That was what I wanted to say. Germany is the heart of Europe, so everything that happens in Germany has a big impact on Europe and also a big impact on the world. So we have to pay for Germany. Please join me while praying. Thank you. Thank you for listening.